Yeah, there it is. I always forget which slide has this, but it's Daniel always tells me that we give, and we give until it hurts. And that's just something that's a motto that he sort of has lived by. And it's similar to mine, one that I always found that resonated with me, and that's you give of yourself and you give of yourself and you give of yourself until there's nothing left. And then somehow you find yourself able to give more. There is an endless wellspring of charity in the human heart, and it's just true. And if you dig deep enough, you find not only is there more there, but you want to give more, you have more to give, and you find that that garden that you're trying to cultivate does indeed beautify and grow, and you can welcome more people into it. With that said, I want to introduce our guest speaker. Her name is Jessica White. I had a lovely conversation with her yesterday. She is a very sharp woman, and she is a caring human being, and she has a vision that is piercing. And she can see what the workforce is going to look like in the next 2 to 5 years, and she has been gestating on ways to articulate what she sees and how to aid everyone in being able to utilize what is going to be at your disposal to allow yourself to flourish in this oncoming, changing, ever changing workplace. Without further ado, I'm going to let you have it, Jessica. Thank you for being with us, and you have the floor.
Cool. That was an awesome intro. I promise I didn't pay for that. Just kidding. That was completely free off the cusp. No, first of all, I appreciate you guys inviting me to come speak. I mean, this is a topic that, just the times that we're in has been a lot more prevalent. I'm not I'm not necessarily on the recruiting side anymore. That was more on, the earlier part of my career, but even, even in the role that I'm in right now, so where I'm more client facing and I'm talking to executives and having, more business strategy type of conversations, like even the people I've worked with for years who, have never been in kind of a lull period with either being, let go or moving into different roles. I've been having these conversations a lot, so I think this is a really good topic to discuss. Um, quick quick background on me, like I mentioned, I've been in the staffing, recruiting, and IT consulting arena for it's 18 years now, 17 and a half, 18 years. So right now my role is I'm a senior director of partnership development at Akotis is a part of the Adecco group, if you've ever heard of them before. They're pretty big. So we are adopting ourselves as well to the new reality of AI and how that's shaping our world. So it's a lot of things are changing really quick. And Adam and I were talking, and I was like, you know what? I could bring some stats to this meeting and just some stuff of like, hey, this is what the workforce looks like, and here's what you can do to apply for jobs. But I'm like, you know what? You guys are smart. You guys have probably heard a lot of this advice. And again, for me to come and just say, hey, take the top 10 companies and make sure you apply to you reach out to 5 people from each company. I feel like what we're all going through right now, what we're seeing is a little bit deeper than that, right? So I'll start here with a story too. I built a partnership with one of the former CIOs here in Charlotte. I would say over the last 6 or 8 months, he was a new CIO to a new company, and he'd moved his whole family down here for this new opportunity. And 8 months, he never not been out of work. He's been working really hard since he was, probably right outside of school, right? So 8 months into his new role as CIO, he was let go, and um, it rocked his world. He'd never been in a place where he was trying to look for a new job, and his whole like he was really struggling. Not only it's not always just about paying the bills. It's also like it's your self-worth, it's your self-esteem. It's like it's really tough when you're in a situation where you've been working so hard your entire life, and you have something comes out that's completely out of your control, out of left field, and you're left without a job and you're back on the job search and you never anticipated being here in such a short period of time, right? So I don't know if that resonates with some of you guys. I'm assuming it might, but I if in speaking to Adam, I was like, I think a better topic would be maybe something formulated around you are more than your job title. I think we need to maybe shift the perspective a little bit about you guys are out there beating, pounding the pavement, trying to find jobs. You guys have had all, recruiters look at your resumes, you've had people reach out to you and your network, you've gone to networking events. I just heard a couple people mention that and not really seen any fruits of it yet. Like you guys know what to do. Let's talk about the mental game though of it and see, what kind of shifts we can make to like keep ourselves going throughout this entire long cycle, hopefully shorter than longer. But I think that's a good place to start. So let me hold on. Let me share my screen really quick. All right, and then all right. You guys see. Hold on. Let me bring. All right, hold on. I think I'm in the wrong spot here.
You had it up there just a second ago.
Oh, was it fine? Did it look okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. All right, we good? All right.
Yep, it's not presenting, but it's where's it playing at?
Yeah, it's.
You just have to go into presentation mode. That's all.
Yeah.
You're just in there where you're edit.
Presentation mode.
Okay. Here we go. We'll do this. Is that good? Is that working?
Gorgeous. That's it.
There you go.
Yep.
That's it.
Sorry, y'all. 18 years of technology and I still have technology problems. Okay, so apologies. So you are more than your job title. So, and I make a joke. It's a joke, but like we all have. Let's embrace our personal worth beyond the teams meetings, beyond the back-to-back teams meetings. There's more there for us, right? So, separating identity from employment. A job is a role, it's not a person. And again, I'm not saying this from like a condescending lens at all. I know, when you have bills to pay, you have, a family that depends on you. I know it's like, okay, well, that's great, but like it kind of is because it ties directly into my life, right? But like if you separate yourself out from the actual job itself, roles are changeable, a person is continuous, and like just because of the march and the path that you guys are on, separating your role from self is going to be like absolutely crucial to keep your headspace good as well as it can be throughout this whole process. You need to recognize roles are temporary. They supports flexibility and protect self-esteem during career transitions, like I mentioned. So if you can maintain like who you are and like a job is just kind of a paycheck or a job is a way to take care of your family, but it's not who you are, you need to separate the two. Work measures output, not worth. So limitations of workplace metrics, right? Workplace metrics measure output, but they do not capture kindness, integrity, creativity, or inherent human value. So impact of job loss, really what a job loss, and if you can refrain your brain around this, a job loss is really organizational fit and like where the organization is now versus letting you go or, by having a layoff or a reduction or letting you go from the position. It's really just organizational fit and not you as a human being. So again, separating worth from productivity, that's absolutely crucial. So identity beyond employment. People hold many important roles beyond employment, such as friend, partner, community member, which shape their identity deeply. So non-work relationships, we all know this, and I feel like maybe, I hope this isn't too basic, but there's a lot of people that higher you go sometimes in the corporate ladder, you kind of lose this. Non-work relationships provide emotional support and affirm self-worth. You have to have you have to have something else outside your job, right? And relying on that during these type of times, whether it's your family, your friends, this group here is awesome. Like, you need to be able to have that support network behind you, and detach that from your friends at work or your job. Like, you have to have two separate worlds, through diversification. So how do you move forward? Okay, great. That's awesome, Jess. But I'm laid off. Like, I can separate myself, but that still doesn't get me a job, right? So just always remember, your value is beyond your employer. We talked about reframing job loss and exploring new opportunities, but like, skills and strengths move with you guys. They're not tied to any single employer position. So what does that mean? In finding your next role, through reflection of knowing that your skills are portable, like whatever you got from that last job is you, and that's portable. Focus, reflect, and then understand your personal strengths, and utilizing that to find your next role, in the sense of, let AI support you in this journey. Take like, and I can show you, I was actually going to do a live prompt here to kind of show you what the angle I was coming at. Use ChatGPT. Take like, hey, my job title is this. From my performance reviews and what I know about myself, my strengths are, coming up with creative problems to complex solutions, or partnering with other teams, or mentoring and training. Like outline, outside of the core responsibilities of your job, outline what makes you human and what your strengths are, because we all have those, right? Put them into ChatGPT, and like, okay, so technology is tough right now. There's been a lot of layoffs. The whole world's shifting with AI, and like, again, who knows where we're going to land? It's kind of out of our control at this point. So like, but the core skills and what I mentioned before that make you human and make your strengths and weaknesses are you, right? So like, you've learned these things on the job. You've learned X, Y, and Z, and you have your own personal strengths. Put that all into ChatGPT and see what else is out there. See, like, be like, hey, I've done this myself too. It's like, hey, I've been in technology, staffing, sales, and consulting for 18 years. I'm also really, and I'll show you this, like, I'm also good at X, Y, and Z. I'm consistent. I like these factors about myself. What other jobs are out there where I can take these skills and that are portable, where maybe there's some other open opportunities that I can look at, right? So like, keeping your mind open and knowing that you're an individual person, you carry these traits with you, whether or not you're employed. A layoff is not, it's just, you're not there for the organizational fit at the time. So you can take these skills, plug it into ChatGPT, outline like what your strengths are, and try some other resources to get a job, right? So here, I'll show you. Let me show you quick. All right, so let me pull this up. Share my screen again. All right. So good old ChatGPT, right? All right, so what are you working on? I'm a technology sales director in the staffing, consulting, and recruiting arena. Outside of my current job, I have strengths in, partnering with others, reading the room, and knowing how to come up with creative solutions to complex problems. What other jobs outside of technology might be a good fit for my skill set? And again, this is really basic. You could make it as complex as you want. So here you go, business development. All right, now we want to get out management consulting. So you kind of get the idea. This is a really simple prompt. You can make it a lot more complex, where you list out attributes. You can go through your old performance reviews. you can also just as a self, like add what would make you happy, what industry would you be interested in, like, and it's not saying that, you know, you have to go down this path. It's just saying like you own these skills. So like, let's look at the broad scope of what you'd be qualified for and what would make you happy. Cause like we're in a complete transition right now, guys. We're in a transition of, you know, the way the world's worked, and then now there's AI, and jobs are going to populate that we don't anticipate, but also there's going to be certain industries that are minimalized or completely, you know, gone, I would say in the next 3 to 5 years, right? So like we need to know as humans, number one, what makes us happy, number two, what we're good at, and three, what's out here, outside of maybe the norm that we've done day in and day out for the last couple of years, where we could succeed, maybe even be happier, and be able to thrive with what we carry around us internally versus, you know, focusing on, you know, our what we take with us internally. So that was just the two bits of information I wanted to kind of cover here, and just thoughts thinking about having these conversations with people and knowing that it's tough no matter how you slice it, and like you guys just are doing the best you can, and yeah, know that others are here to help and support, and sometimes we might need to get creative with our job search.
Absolutely. Was there anything else you wanted to cover, Jessica?
That's really it. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm opening up to questions if anybody has any thoughts, or hopefully that made sense. But like, I just, that was just a couple tidbits I wanted to share. Like, let the robots, you know, if you feel like AI is taking your job, or you feel like, you know, the world's shifting quick, let